It's very hard to summarize what I felt like while watching this, but what I can tell you is that Steven Spielberg has created one of my favorite films this year. And seeing Ready Player One come to life was a dream come true. I unfortunately have not had a chance to read the book yet, so my opinions are based off of just the movie itself. I would like to get a copy of the book, however. Ready Player One tells the story of a young man named Wade Watts, played by Ty Sheridan, as he journeys to find hidden Easter eggs within the VR world known as the Oasis. Throughout this movie, him and his friends are challenged with many obstacles, both in the Oasis and in real life. At first, I was very worried I would be watching a movie filled with Easter eggs as if it was begging for attention. However, that's just not the case. Each hidden joke or Easter egg itself works for the film, and I laughed at a lot of them. Me and my friend were freaking out at seeing Tracer from Overwatch and the Ninja Turtles and Star Wars, and I'm not gonna go into it, but oh my goodness, it does not subtract from the experience, and it only heightens it just that much more. As if awesome references weren't enough, Steven Spielberg's cinematography and use of motion capture pulls you right into a series of outright intense and gorgeous action sequences. The CGI itself is utilized to feel and look more like a video game, and that's what it should be. And I felt like I was watching one, and that's what a movie like this is supposed to do. It's supposed to make me kind of feel like I'm watching a video game. I didn't need the Oasis to look super hyper realistic. In turn, the action sequences like the racing sequence felt genuine. To top it off, the sound design to me deserves a lot of attention. I went to go see this in an AMC Dolby Cinema. I took a few friends of mine who have never been to one, including my girlfriend. She started to squeeze my hand when the action scenes began. Our seats had subwoofers in them, and I could tell she was completely mesmerized by what was happening because she was completely frozen when the action scenes began, and she became more lax when the scenes ended. The sound design itself is very bassy and loud and not annoying or out of place. It's just perfect. The story itself brought me to immediately care for our heroes because, I'm a gamer and I totally understand what these characters are going through. I've heard a couple of viewers here say there wasn't enough stakes. I know the pain of having some sort of permadeath system. I know how it feels to want to get that Easter egg, and I know how hard people will work for it. It's honestly enough to make me want to care for the heroes even when they're in the game. See, I love Easter egg hunting myself. I did a lot in this film actually. I remember my first Easter egg discovery was the little grunt from Halo 1, and then the one from Halo 3. My cousin showed it to me, and since then I became fascinated with these hidden Easter eggs ever since. Ty Sheridan's character is likable and he seems like a gamer. He knows the lingo and it feels genuine. It feels like he knows what he's talking about. In fact, everyone, minus a few smaller characters, I felt like I had discovered and came to know each and every one of them as if I was alongside them in this journey. His friends in the Oasis are likable, and it's too real on how fast you can bond someone you've never met in real life. I know this personally, down to wanting to meet various friends from Rainbow Six or Overwatch in real life. Things get a little bit unbelievable when Wade Watts kind of falls in love with this Artemis character. It's too fast, and while I do understand it's kind of like that online, you just gravitate towards people you've never met, but it felt too fast, and maybe it could have added more meat to that. I needed maybe one or two more scenes together where they could bond more, but then I realized this kid is a huge nerd. I loved seeing him go after the girl because it gave him a sense of innocence. It was so cute trying to see him, ask her out or put on all these different outfits and all these things. Seeing him buy stuff in the market that he will use later on the date, it's just amazing. I thought this was such a good addition to his character. I love this movie, but it's not to say it's flawless. There are some problems that I would like to address. The first one is Wade Wilson's home life. We don't get much of him in the family element. There is so much potential for Wade and his family to be more personal within the movie itself. There is literally only one scene detailing how bad and crappy his life is. I felt like that one singular scene was too powerful just to let go or just to use only one time. I connected with this character completely. We all go to video games to escape from reality, but it would have been nice to see him deal more with that. Speaking of corny, there are a couple of plot elements that were were kind of cheesy and I didn't really follow. Those involve spoilers and I don't want to do that. However, they did not subtract entirely from this movie. This film brings out the nerd in the audience. It definitely brought out the nerd in me. My dad came with me to see it and he loved it, as did I. Ready Player One is fantastic in how it portrays the real life gamer in regards of wanting to escape from reality. I totally relate to all of these people. I played games to be a super elite SAT operator or a wizard or a super soldier. I play to escape the world we live in, and by God, I can completely relate. I'm just not gonna get past it. I can relate. And I literally every background character in it. I play games to escape my reality. I play them to be a super elite SAT operator or a wizard or a super soldier or a Spartan or to get trapped on an island fighting demons. I do it to escape. And by God, I can relate to this movie. I can relate to the whole thing, all the main characters, all the side characters, even down to the players in the background that we'll never get to hear from. I love Steven Spielberg. I've seen a lot of his movies, but I think Ready Player One is my favorite by him. I just adore this movie. I ate it up completely. This movie is worth seeing in an AMC Dolby theater or any other type of more expensive theater. You definitely will have a blast watching this in one of those.
Like many of you, I only came here to escape. But I found something much bigger than just myself. Are you willing to fight?
Help us save the Oasis.